Ever wonder what the weather in Atlanta is like? Well, in this video, I'm gonna share with you why one of my favorite things about living in Atlanta is the climate. All that and more coming up right now. Hey everyone, welcome back to Living in Atlanta. This YouTube channel is all about what it's like to live, work, and play in the Atlanta area. I created it specifically for folks who are looking to move here from out of town so that they could understand what the different neighborhoods are like and where they may want to purchase a home. My name is Marc Brenner. I'm a licensed realtor here in Atlanta. And if you're looking to purchase a home in the Atlanta area, I would love to connect with you. All of my contact information is in the description below. Please feel free to reach out to me anytime. Also, please like this video and hit subscribe so that you can be notified every time I put out another video about what it's like to live in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, so if you live in the United States, you probably have a good idea of what the weather is like in Georgia and the South in general. But if you're thinking of moving here and living long term, you probably would like some more detail about what the climate is like year round. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you actual weather statistics, but I'm also gonna share with you my personal anecdote of experiencing the weather in Atlanta for the last 10 years. So in spite of having the nickname Hotlanta, which FYI is a nickname most Atlantans absolutely hate, Atlanta, the city, is actually a very mild climate, and we have 4 very distinct seasons here year-round. The average temperature range here year-round has a low of 34 degrees and a high of 89 degrees. And the average annual temperature in Atlanta is 61 degrees, which is near perfect if you ask me. The warmest month on average here is July, and the coldest month on average is January. March is typically the rainiest month of the year with an average annual rainfall of about 5.38 inches. And believe it or not, April has the lowest annual average of rainfall. So statistically, Atlanta averages 48 days a year below freezing and 2.9 inches per year in average snowfall. But from my experience living here for over 10 years, that's really high. Take this last winter in 2019, for instance, there was probably less than 20 days that were below freezing, and I can only remember 1 or 2 days with some light flurries. So the average annual humidity here is about 71.1%. Now for reference, Florida, which we all know is extremely humid, is at about 74%. So yeah, humidity is definitely a challenge if you're living in Georgia. But here's one of my favorite statistics for you. It's sunny an average of 60% of the time in Atlanta. All right, I think that was enough statistics for you. So here's my personal experience and impression of what the climate is like in Atlanta. The weather is absolutely amazing, and it's one of my biggest pros of living in Atlanta. I would break it down really simply for you like this. The summers are hot and extremely humid. The winters are short, cold, and rainy, and the spring and fall are long, sunny, and absolutely beautiful. Is it like Southern California where it's sunny and 70 every day? Definitely not. But me personally, I love the change of seasons. And in Atlanta, you get 4 really distinct seasons without the extremes you find in the northeast portion of the country. If you're not a big fan of winter, Atlanta could be a great place to live, as it doesn't really get cold, usually until late November. And really, like I said, the winters are very short. It's really only cold and rainy here for 3 months out of the year, and I would say that's December, January, and February. So believe it or not, that means from about March to late November, the weather here is absolutely fantastic. Lots of sunshine. Yes, it gets very hot and humid in the summers, but like I said, spring and fall are long, and there are so many days here throughout the year that are in the 60s and 70s with a nice breeze and tons of sunshine. So let's talk real quick about the summers in Atlanta, because I know they have a reputation for being some of the worst in the country. But honestly, the truth is there's really only 2 months here in the summer that get really bad for heat and humidity, and that would be July and August. So each year, the real heat comes in at a different time. This year, it happened to be late June. In fact, right now, we are just coming into some of the hottest times of the entire year, but each year it'll change a little bit different. You'll have some years where the middle or end of April, it's extremely hot, and then you'll have some years where it doesn't get extremely hot, like this year, until the end of June. Same thing on the other end. The brutal heat typically ends in late August. Sometimes that can extend into early September. So yes, during July and August, the humidity here is absolutely off the charts. You're gonna be indoors for most of your time in air conditioning as much as you possibly can be. But I can honestly say, coming from the Northeast, living here 10 plus years, you definitely do adapt to the heat. And honestly, I will take extreme heat over extreme cold any day of the week. But like I said before, there are way more beautiful, awesome weather days than there are not in Atlanta. Specifically, some of my favorite months to look out for, March, April, and May are typically absolutely gorgeous, and probably my favorite time of the year in Atlanta is September and October, where it's cooled down a little bit, it's not raining a whole lot, it's sunny nearly every day, and the temperature is absolutely perfect. So to sum it up, in Atlanta, on average, you have about 2 months of very cold, wet weather, 2 months of very hot, humid weather, and 8 months of very mild and very often absolutely perfect weather. And I can honestly say, after living here for 10 years, the climate in Atlanta has become one of my absolute favorite parts of living here. It's a very mild, very sunny climate that has way more beautiful days than not. Is it absolutely perfect weather? No, but one thing you won't find is me complaining about the weather in Atlanta. Okay, so I hope you found that short video about the climate in Atlanta helpful. Again, my name is Marc Brenner. I'm a realtor here in Atlanta, and if you're thinking of buying a home in the area, I'd love to connect with you. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. All of my contact information is below, and make sure you subscribe to this page because I'm going to continue to put out content specifically about what it's like to live in Atlanta and also what it's like to invest in real estate in Atlanta. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Until then, I'll see you next time.